I'm live. Happy Thanksgiving. I know I didn't film, but I was super busy, so I didn't have time. So I'm going to wait for a few of you guys to get on, and I will start the video. But as you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about God, Goddesshood, and Godhood. Okay. This is saying, and I know that you've heard this probably 100 times through other videos, but we are supposed to elevate to a level of God and Goddess. Okay? We are human, but we are also more than human. Okay? So we're supposed to elevate to that next level consciously and spiritually, right? And you can't do that by limitations. Okay? A lot of religions and a lot of beliefs and a lot of paths give you limits, so you cannot reach your God or Goddesshood. Okay? And y'all like my necklace? Yeah, I'm trying to show you. And so if you're not able to reach your God or Goddesshood, you don't ever figure out who you are and what you can do, and you can never fully be free to do as you will. Okay? So, and that's talking in this life, the afterlife, and the next life, and so on and so forth. Okay? So once you reach your God status or your Goddess status, you'll be able to pretty much do more on a higher level, on a stronger level than, let's just say, humans. Okay? So let's get into it. So if we're going to be gods and goddesses, we're going to have to think like them. Okay? Not think like a human, but think like a god or a goddess. Okay? So that's what we're talking about. And when I say god or goddess, it just means someone who has reached their highest or, higher self. Okay? So when you reach your higher self, your higher mind, you think on a higher level of consciousness, not just the 3D earthly consciousness or the 4D consciousness. It's 5D and up. You hit God and Goddesshood at 5D and up. Okay? So if you're not thinking on those levels yet, then you're still working your way up, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the goal is to get to God and Goddesshood. Okay? So if you're new to this and you're just practicing magic, you don't even know what's what yet, and you're still lighting candles and trying to figure out what a petition is and things like that. Yes, you have a long way to go, but eventually this is where your path should lead. Okay? So if you're new, probably you're going to be able to understand what I'm saying, but you're probably not ready for this step. But you should, your path should point in the direction of becoming a higher version of yourself. Okay? And so this represents this represents being able to make decisions based on logical things and not letting emotions rule you. This is based on universal law, being able to use it in every aspect of your life, not just learn what it means and memorize the definitions, but actually apply it. Apply it to everything that you do, and your life will start to slowly but surely, and sometimes quickly, transform in front of your eyes. And everything you touch after that will also follow. It would also follow being better and being what you want and creating the lifestyle or the effect that you want. Okay? So applying God or goddess mentality is basically being a responsible, smart, intelligent, logical person, instead of an emotional wreck who makes stupid decisions based on temporary things and doesn't understand universal law. Okay, so we have this God and goddess, and then we have human. Okay, it's not that far apart. It's not that hard to get to. It's all about how you think. Okay, so if you want to get to that level, you have to start thinking on that level. You can't think about low stuff. You can't think about low level stuff anymore. Frivolous, stupid, low level stuff, low level people, you got to put them out of your life if you want to be a god or goddess. That's just it. You got to kick them out. Bye. Bye. Okay, if you can't do that, if you can't detach, that's one of the things. You're not going to be able to move to that next level if you can't detach from the lower, the lower energies. Okay, so if you're around a bunch of low energy, negative people who are still not even here, you know, you can't get to the goddesshood or godhood at all. You won't be able to do it because you're going to have to either get alone or get with like-minded people. I say get alone first so you can know who you are, and then you can benefit from other people knowing who they are, and you can give them something because you know who you are. Okay, and if you don't know who you are, that's why you need to go and be alone for a while. Okay, everybody feels like, oh, I need friends, oh, I need friends. When you're trying to level up, you don't need any friends. You just need to say hi, goodbye, see you later, see you next Christmas, see you on my birthday. You need to be focused on yourself, because you might know your friend's birthday, you might know your friend, you might know what they like, but you have no idea who you are. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. You guys need to get alone for a while and stop looking for a man, stop looking for people to hang out with, stop looking for people to give you attention. Go be by yourself and become who you're supposed to be. Know who you are, and you won't have to do all that because you're going to attract it. You're going to be like, when people see what you have inside of you, they're going to want it. Okay, because a lot of people don't go and do this, and they can't figure out, why is this person over here have all these people drawn to them and I don't? Well, it's because they know who they are, and they're not afraid to be themselves, and they're not afraid to, do this and that, and they vibrate on a different frequency of knowing. A lot of people vibrate on a frequency of not knowing who they are, insecurity, doubt, anger, over emotional, all those things. So when you're vibrating on a level that most people want to get to eventually, people are going to be attracted to you, okay? So in all ways. So you need to get by yourself if you're having, some trouble, some issues, you're not moving up, you're not elevating, you talk too much, you know too much, but you don't know how to apply it. The frivolous knowledge that you know has nothing to do with becoming the highest version of yourself. Sometimes we get stuck in certain things that are very limited when we, awaken or start practicing magic or start seeing the world in a new way. We get stuck on limited things and limited thinking that can't benefit us at all. But we get stuck there because there's something that, a lot of people will focus on because they just get stuck. So you can't get stuck, especially a lot of people who are studying history and things like that. They get stuck. They get stuck because of things that happened in the past and da-da-da-da. Yes, those things happen. They'll never be forgotten. But don't get stuck there. Because that's exactly why a lot of people can't move into their higher self or their future, because they're stuck in the past. Literally. So, don't get stuck, y'all. I'm serious. I have people in my comments who are like commenting silly stuff, and I'm like, that's so 5 years ago. I'm beyond that. So remember, you don't get stuck. You keep it moving. And I know that a lot of people run into newbies, and they're like, oh, can you teach me from scratch and square one? And you're like all the way up here, and they're all the way up down here. Can you be my mentor? You have to find someone, a mentor that's here, that wants to teach. There are levels of consciousness where people want to take someone by the hand and lead them, and it's not someone who's so far up here, because going back here is like going to kindergarten. You have this college, you have a thing like you can teach in college level, and then they ask you to teach a kindergarten. It's kind of frustrating, okay? Because your vocabulary is going to confuse them straight up. So find someone that's just a little bit above you, okay? And they would love, 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 love to take you by the hand because they're excited. They want to tell people about what they know, but nobody's listening because, they're not on that level. So they would love to have someone. And then when you outgrow them, or when you're done learning from them, you go find someone a little bit more higher than you. That's just a little. And then next, you'll probably be able to go and do your own research because you're going to want to know your own thoughts. Okay? But you can't get someone way up here to teach you about what's a candle for. Okay? Because they will get frustrated. So you have to go find someone who's just getting into it as well. Maybe that's been to it for about a couple of months or a year. They're going to at least help you with the basics. You know what I mean? Or go find an older video. But just understand that they're not trying to be mean. They just can't concentrate on that right now because they're very busy trying to elevate themselves. Okay? I'm just, you have to understand that people aren't trying to be mean, because I know a lot of people that ask other practitioners, oh, can you teach me? Can you teach me? And they like, no, 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 I don't have time. And it's not that they're being rude. It's that they're on their own mission and their own journey to become this, god or goddess. And they can't come back and look back and say, hey, let me teach you about what a candle is and what a petition is. Those are the old videos. I've already done that. There are videos everywhere. There's Google everywhere. And if you really want the knowledge, you will seek it. Okay? So becoming a god or goddess is a self-actualization journey, basically. Okay? It's not about asking what you think or what you think or what they think. It's about what do you think. Okay? So if you know what you think, you know who you are, you know what you're going to. That reminds me of an old Diana Ross song. I was just singing it in my head. From the 80s. Oh my God, flashback. Do you know? Do y'all remember that song? Do you know? Do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Okay, so yes, once you figure out who you are, what you want, what you can do, then you start doing it and you start applying those principles and things to your life every day. You don't just talk about it. You don't just teach about it. You don't read about it. You go and do it. Okay? There's a difference. There's a lot of people that can talk to you and teach you, but they can't go and do it. If you're going to be a god or a goddess, you got to be able to do it. Okay? You got to be able to do it. Not just talk about it, but you got to be about it. Because, you can name yourself any type of spiritual name you like, but if you can't do something, but you can only recite it, then you're a teacher, solely a teacher. Okay? If you can't apply the knowledge, then you need to be teaching it. Okay? That's your job. You can't claim that you're this or that. But if you can't apply it, keep teaching it until you can. Okay? Because teachers, they eventually level up. They'll level up to the next level once they watch their students pass them. Once your students start passing you, you got to start thinking, you know what? What is it that I'm teaching that I'm not even getting? Okay? And I've seen a lot of students pass their teacher, Okay? So I've learned from a lot of people. I've watched a lot of YouTube throughout the years, and I've surpassed a lot of the people that I've actually learned from. And I feel like, sometimes it's good. But for them, it's not so good because they need to feel like they're moving as well. So for the teachers out there who aren't moving and who aren't, getting higher in consciousness, it's because you have to start applying it. You got to get out and start actually applying it and not being stuck, limited in certain thoughts, because you might have the knowledge, but if you don't have the ability to go apply it, you can't elevate to that next level. And a lot of you guys are very knowledgeable. Y'all can correct me and say all these different things, but you can't go apply it. Okay? I might not have the knowledge down to verbatim or the way that some of you guys do, but I sure do know how to apply it. You know what I'm saying? So let's focus on being able to apply the knowledge that you learn. And that's why in my book, How to Manifest with Dark Energy, it's very simple. because some people get lost in all that extra stuff that people write in books. They get lost there. You know, if you have something straight up to the point, you can't get lost. It's right there in front of you. You have no choice but to follow it, right? And a lot of people will appreciate something like that versus a long chapter book, okay? Because the reason why most people never apply what they learn spiritually, magically, and things like that is because they're lazy. I'm going to just say it straight up. They're lazy. And they're lazy because of the society that we live in. We are spoiled. You know, we're tap a button and there you go. You have everything you need at your fingertips. But we're too lazy to even search something, you know. So you got to come out of that laziness. First of all. And you have to admit to yourself, I'm lazy. Shoot, I'm lazy. I hate doing anything. I hate Googling. I hate reading. So you know what you don't like. Now figure out the solution to it. Okay, I don't like to read, so let me go find an audio book. Okay, there you go. You just listen. Okay, I don't like to read books. Let me go find a book that's this short and I can get through it in a few minutes or a day. Okay, there's your solution. Let me go. Okay, I'm lazy. I don't like learning new things because I feel like I could be doing something else better with my time. Okay, learn how to multitask. Listen to it when you work out. Or listen to it on your way to work. Figure out something. Okay, don't just make excuses. Find solutions. That's one thing that gods and goddesses do. They don't focus on the problem. Okay, they focus on the solution. Like, why would you? Okay, for religious people, do you pray to God about your problems and not ask them to help you, or do you ask them for help first? Okay, do you focus on the problem when you pray to a deity or a god that's supposed to help you? Or do you focus on the solution? Are you asking for a solution? You need to ask yourself for the solution. That is how you become a god or goddess. You don't ask for a solution. You ask you for a solution because you are trying to become a god or a goddess. And if you can find your own solution, bam, you're closer to godhood, to goddesshood. Okay? So, don't talk about your problems to people. Talk about the solutions to yourself first. That way you don't have to go out and tell everybody your problem because you've already figured out the solution. And now what you're going to be talking about is how to find the solution or how to get the solution done instead of the problems. No one wants to hear your problems. Okay? They want to hear that you're working on your problems and that you have a solution to your problems. Okay? So that's another way. Okay? You can solve your own problems. Bam. You don't have to ask, you don't have to beg, you don't have to tell people about your problems. You can solve them on your own. That's one more thing, one more step towards being a god or goddess. You can solve your own problems. The next one is knowing what you are. Okay? A lot of people don't even know what they are. And when you don't know what you are, you can't move up. Hello. Let me see some of y'all. Hi, how are you? If you don't know what you are, you can't get what you want. That's just it. And you know, I've told you guys what we are in all my videos. I've written it in my book, which is actually linked below if y'all want to go click on it. And we should know what we are by now. And once you know it, you'll be able to use that to your advantage in every situation of your life, okay? But you, instead of reading it and contemplating it and believing it, you gotta know it. And the only way to know it is to apply it and see it happen, okay? So many teachers believe, but they don't really know because they haven't applied it and seen it happen, manifest in front of their own eyes. So and they don't have the actual physical representation of what they have tried to attain. So what you got to do is know what you are, be able to apply it, and get the results. And then you'll know for sure. And the next time you attempt to manifest something, to do a spell, to figure out the solution to your problem, it's going to get easier and easier and easier, especially for yourself. You know, now to do these things for other people, you know, it takes a little bit of time and practice and the ability to perfect and master what you can do for yourself first. Or, I mean, at least get to a level where you don't doubt yourself and your abilities, and you can solve your own problems and get the things you need and want. Okay, so let's just focus on ourselves for a while. Okay, and when we work on ourselves and we focus on ourselves, we become on a higher level of consciousness. A lot of people get into magic for love, revenge, da 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 da. A lot of people get into it for the wrong reason, but it's not really a wrong reason, because all paths lead to the right reason. So once you get over all of that and you really want to start learning and focusing on yourself instead of just getting love spells and, you know, trying to bring an ex back that doesn't want you, when you get into it for the real reason, then you need to understand that you'll be able to do all those things yourself. And you probably won't even want to do them because you'll be focused on something way more important or way more, you know, beneficial to you. Okay? So make sure that's what you do. Anyways, yes. If you're going to be on this path, you need to be worried and only thinking about you at this time. Okay, all great alchemists, magicians, and, you know, people who study the higher knowledge, they go into a period of seclusion and they try to work on themselves first and foremost. Okay, if you're only in it to, you know, do some candle magic and get an X back, that's great. That's great. But if you're seeking higher information, higher knowledge, higher consciousness, God and Godhood, then this is what we have to do. We have to focus on ourselves, not other people. Okay? Because they're not, unless they can benefit you and push you to the next level as well, then we need to be focused on ourselves. Okay? So we can teach our kids and they can teach their kids how to get to that next level in life instead of repeating the mistakes that you made over and over and over and over, and teaching the same mistakes to your children, and so that they repeat them over and over and over. And, you know, your legacy, your family, they never get to the point where they should be, you know. So let's focus on ourselves so we can master that, and then we can master other things and teach that to the children and get that going as well to the next generation. Because right now, all I'm getting are silly questions, and the questions are, some of them are so silly, I don't even know if they're real. Like, I don't even know if they're, I'm like, I don't even read them anymore. I just delete them because I think a lot of people hop from channel to channel looking for someone to bring, you know, some type of closure, some type of miracle to them, but that's not what this channel is for. Okay? I'm not handing out my phone number online. I'm not telling y'all I'm the best. You know, I'm not DJ Khaled. I'm trying to teach y'all how to become a god and a goddess, or the higher level of thinking, and how to manifest with dark energy and things like that. I'm not trying to do all those other things. So don't come to me after you've hopped from 10 different people and asking me to do some silly stuff, because I'm trying to teach and expand your mind to a higher level so you don't have to deal with the problems that you're dealing with. Okay? So when you're dealing with problems constantly, there's a reason for that. Oh, I'm spiritually hexed, cursed, nothing goes right in my life, because you haven't taken the time to figure yourself out. Okay? So problems are going to come against you until you do. Until you figure out how to solve them. Do you know that that's what I tell people about nightmares? You're going to have nightmares until you fix something, until you realize, you know, certain things, until it scares you into a higher consciousness. You're going to have problems until you're pushed into a higher consciousness, until you're forced into a higher consciousness, until you're forced to solve them. Okay? A lot of people just give up. And that's the sad part. You can't let your problems pile up and you keep making the same mistakes. You have to take some time, figure them out, use universal law, use alchemy to solve some of them, you know. And you can't go from spellcaster to spellcaster expecting them to help you if you can't even help yourself. Okay? And this is what most people don't understand, you know. To truly help yourself, you have to know who you are and know what you need and know how to get it. If you don't know those three things, then how am I supposed to know? You know, if I'm going to do spell work for you, I'm going to ask you questions. And if you can't answer the questions, I can't help you, you know. So I often ask people, like, what do you want? I don't know. Well, what do you want to happen? I don't know. Well, you know, then I can't help you. Go figure it out and then come back. Okay? Because most people have no clue when you ask them a question. They have memorized this, the periodic table. They have memorized this, but they don't know what they want and what they want to happen and what they need. They don't know none of that. So that's why I'm saying go figure it out first. Then come, you know. Ask yourself many questions, because I'm going to ask you questions if you come to me. If I bring this man back to you, do you really want him after he left you and did this and that and stole your money? You still want him back? But what if he does it again? Then you're going to be worse off, you know. Well, I don't care how you bring him back. I just want him. Okay, what if he comes back broke with no job? You going to take care of him? You want him back broke with no job? Okay. Well, he came back, but I don't want him anymore because he's not treating me right. I said he wasn't treating you right before. But you got him back. You got what you wanted. Now what? You didn't really want him. It was your ego that was bruised. It's your ego that's bruised. What you wanted was a better man and a better choice and a better selection. What you wanted was to improve upon yourself so that you can get the type of man that's going to treat you right. That's what you really wanted, but you didn't ask me for that. You asked me for this loser back, and that's what you got. Okay? So go and think about what you really want. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Don't ask me for somebody that's going to come back and treat you like trash just because you have a bruised ego. Ask me, will you help me improve myself so I can attract a better caliber of man or woman so that I won't have to go through this again? Yes, I can help you with that. Okay? And it's going to benefit you. Okay? So know what you want, know what you need, know how to get it. And then we can go from there. If you're sitting over here with a bruised ego trying to get something back that's not good for you, and you get it back, you're just wasting time and money. Okay? So don't think like that. And also, you know, becoming a god and a goddess, they don't go backwards. They don't go backwards. Gods and goddesses do not go backwards. They only move it forward. They only keep it moving in a higher direction, not a lower direction. They don't go back. They don't go back and beg. They don't go back and wish that they were in this place. They keep it moving. They keep evolving. If you're not evolving, if you're always looking back to the past, if you're always wishing coulda, shoulda, woulda, I just need another chance, you're not going towards God or goddesshood at all. Those are mistakes. Those are things from the past. You're supposed to learn and keep stepping. Okay? So remember, you want to be on that next level, you got to keep looking forward or in the present, not in the past. The only thing you need to learn from the past is the mistakes that you need to learn from. That's it. Don't try to go back there. Okay? And a lot of men and a lot of women have issues with this. They have issues and over worrying. If you worry about stuff too much, if you're paranoid about stuff too much, that's not a characteristic of a god or goddess, because you understand that you create your own reality. You understand what frequency is, and you understand that you're attracting exactly what you don't want by sitting there worrying about it. Okay? So if you guys claim, oh, I'm a witch, oh, I'm an alchemist, but you sit here worried about something, you know, talking about I want this person back, or I want to go back in the past and fix this and that, then you're not on the path of God or goddess. So you're supposed to learn and keep it moving and do better and lead by example and follow those people who have done what you want to do and go do it and do it even better. Okay? You're not supposed to be weak. You're supposed to be strong. Okay, so if you're a worrier, get out of it. Worry is based in fear. Get out of it. Get out of it. Stop doing it. It's a waste of time. It doesn't benefit you at all. You know, protecting yourself, being cautious, yes. But sitting there worrying about stuff that may never happen, no good. Okay? Okay. I'm going to read some of these questions. Okay. Some of these different. So yes, you can't claim if you have the word goddess in your name and you're a goddess and you sit here begging people for stuff. That's not what goddesses do. That's not what gods do. If you, I'm a god, but you got, I'm not even gonna get into it. Yeah, that's my other channel. If you're a god and you're a goddess and you asking people for stuff, no, you're not. Okay, that's what I'm gonna tell you right now. No, you're not. So, is it possible to be descended from gods or goddesses? We are. We're all descended from them. But you have to know that. And you have to understand how to become more like them. You know what I mean? You've been conditioned to not be like that. You've been conditioned to do this and this and that. You have to make sure that you're going in the right direction to become more like the gods and goddesses you're descended from. Okay? Because think about it. Would you want to praise or be like something that's not even on your same level or higher? No. So, of course, to control a lot of people, you got to give them certain morals, certain beliefs, certain, programming. And then once they know who they are, all that leaves. Like, I know what I am. I know who I am. That stuff does not apply to me. Those are limitations that keep me from being my highest self. That's when you know you're a god and goddess. When all that other stuff just, whatever, that's stupid. And you know who you are. And there is no limit. That's how you know you're a god and goddess. Just like those that understand how the universe works, how universal law works, da 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 da. If you can apply it, you're God and Goddess. Okay. Someone says I'm learning to keep my mouth shut and just listen. Yeah, sometimes that's what you got to do, because if you don't and you talk and talk and talk and you're just saying a bunch of nothing and you can't really benefit from that. That's kind of stroking your own ego. That's about it. So having an ego is not bad, first of all, but it's being controlled by it that's bad. That's the difference. You pull it out when you need it, you put it up when you don't. Just like glasses. I can't see, I gotta read, I'm trying to look cute, take them off. Okay? So, you gotta know when to pull it out and to put them up. Why is it so hard to apply? Because you don't know who you are. And you don't know what you are. And you don't fully believe it. Because you haven't taken the time to learn who you are and what you are. And once you do that and you learn to apply it and you really read over universal law over and over and over, not just one time to say you know it, but you read over and over what it really is, you're going to start to see examples in life where you need to use this straight up, It's just gonna start sticking out to you. Oh my God, I can use law of cause and effect right here. Oh, for real? Yes. Oh, I can use law of polarity here. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, I can use law of gender here. Okay. Ooh, this situation, it calls for this situation calls of law of rhythm. Okay, you're gonna know when to use this stuff because you're going to be so familiar with it, you know. And it's all about suggestion to other people and how to handle certain situations. You know, when you come upon a problem or, you know, something like that, and you know this is not worth getting over emotional about, you're going to start to use the law of cause and effect. Okay, if I do this reaction, this effect will happen, and that's bad. That's going to mess up my life. So let me use the law of correspondence or cause and effect. If I choose this choice instead, then I'm going to get a promotion, or I'm going to get a raise, or I'm going to get this, or I'm going to get that. So let me do this in order to lead to this path of getting a benefit. Okay. Bam. Law of cause and effect applied. No law applied. You get mad, you get upset, you react, you cuss people out, you say something crazy, you look stupid, you look dumb, you get fired, you have no job, it's Christmas time, your kids are looking at you crazy. Effect. Okay. You can create the life you want by the choices that you make if you think before you act instead of emotionally reacting or responding. Okay, that's how you put the law of cause and effect in place right there. The law of gender, you're going to put the law of gender in place. You can't come off masculine if you're feminine and you want to get someone masculine to help you. You can't be the man. You got to let them be the man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, use your femininity to get what you want from a man. That's the law of gender, okay? Or, you know, use let your man be a man so he doesn't feel emasculated. Leave your family and go find some other young thing to call him Big Daddy or whatever while you calling him, you know, all kind of bad words. Go find that out. Law of gender, okay? So you need to think in universal law, and you need to make decisions based in universal law, and you need to understand that your ego only needs to be pulled out when it's time. Not all the time, not every day. You don't react with it. You don't use it for certain things because it only makes you look dumb in the end because you've already messed stuff up. It doesn't matter if your ego is bruised or not. You already look like you made a lot of mistakes. So in order to move on and to fix it, you need to focus on something else. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is every law, every principle can be used to make decisions in your life to benefit you. And once you start making those decisions and you're at work, they're going to pop into your head about business ideas. If you're trying to become an entrepreneur, those laws and those principles are going to come into your mind about how to get started, about how to go about it, about how to use this and that knowledge to get what you want. It's going to just start happening automatically. These are going to be your thoughts, you're not going to have to sit there and like put it together like a puzzle. It's just going to become automatic if you start using it in the small things in life. And before you know it, you're going to be exactly where you want to be, doing what you want to do, how you want to do it. Because you have followed those principles, you have become the master of yourself and your own thoughts, and you know what you're capable of, you know who you are, you know what you want, and you're already on that path of getting everything because you know exactly what to do. And no, it's no longer a mystery because you've seen it unfold daily. Okay, so if you're not on these type of principles, if you don't know what universal law is, that's the first thing you need to go read about. And they're very simple. The law is probably about this long in a paragraph, and that's it, each one. And the more that you apply it in your life, the more opportunities will pop up to show you how to apply them. So before you know it, it's automatic. It's automatic. You know what to apply, what to, when to, how to. Okay, and you can help other people after that point. It's not just textbook, oh, I'm a life coach, I learned how to be a life coach, and I read some books and stuff. I read, no, it's about knowing how to do it, showing other people how to do it, and how to think and moving to the next level, okay? And if you can't do it, or you're too lazy to do it, or you don't want to do it, or you don't know how to do it, you got to find somebody who does and ask them. Okay, I'm trying to read some of these. Okay, so it's very simple. Most people will never, ever reach this. Most, and that's sad. But in the age of technology, you have the tools, you got the information, you got me telling you, you got them telling you, but still some of you still won't reach it. And that's okay, you know, because it's always said that only those who seek it will find it. And, you know, that's what alchemy is, turning lead into gold, turning a problem into profit or something that benefits you. And those things are only done through universal law and, you know, spiritual, mental alchemy. That's it. And alchemy is based in universal law. So if you're not working with these things and you find that your life is not improving, you need to start working with them. And I say that because think about this. Everybody you know who's into everyone you know who's into, you know, esoteric knowledge, who knows, you know, the secrets and been to, you know, this fraternal organization and that fraternal organization, and they're a member of it, and, you know, the political people that have been initiated into this and that, they're giving them those secrets of success. How to get paid, how to get money, how to become successful, how to master yourself, how not to, you know, fly off the handle and end up in 18 lawsuits because you have a bad temper and people can sue you for all your money. When you start getting some money, they will take you to the side and look, we need to teach you universal law. We need to teach you this, because if you act crazy, you're going to lose all your money, you know, and you're going to be a target. So we're going to need to teach you certain things. So that's what happens a lot of times. I mean, you can see some of the people who didn't listen to those people. You can see them. They pulled them to the side, but they didn't listen. Okay, you can see them all on TV everywhere. Those people who did not they weren't able to make it, or they were too weak. They turned to this and they turned to that. And so sometimes in Hollywood especially, they will pull you to the side and teach you some of this stuff so that you can understand what you are, what you're capable of, what you need to focus on, what you don't need to focus on. Okay? And this will strengthen them a little bit, you know, and the knowledge to seek the rest of it is up to them, you know. Someone asked me, do I take gold or silver? Yeah, I take the gold, and that's a really good product. But it's not necessary, but it will help you get to that next level. It's, you know, just physically what it does. Okay. So, if eventually we keep reading certain things, do they subconsciously apply? If you keep learning and go back to the books you didn't understand, you'll probably understand them later, you know, because I've done that. I have books that I didn't understand when I first bought them, and now they're simple to me, you know. So the more you learn things that you do understand, the more you can go back and understand the things you once didn't understand. Okay, you start to see everything from a new perspective. This means something totally different, that means something totally different, and you're going to understand on a higher level of consciousness. Because let's just say you're reading a book on alchemy or, you know, hermeticism, and you have no idea what this stuff is. Like, this is foreign language to me. Then you come and watch a bunch of videos over here. 2 years later, you go back and read the book, and you're like, oh, this makes perfect sense. This sounds like such and such and such and such. You know, you got to keep learning and go back and read what you didn't understand. Like, I have stuff I don't understand now, and I keep it, but I'm going to go back to it later. You know, I don't know everything, but I do know how to apply what I'm learning. And that's the difference. You know, they say, you know, you can have the highest education, you can have the highest IQ, but if you can't apply anything, your knowledge is worthless. You can't apply it. You know, there's geniuses that are living as bums on the street. So we know that applying the knowledge is the key. They say knowledge is power. That's true. But applying it, yes, that is where you get the results from having the power. If we can all become gods and goddesses, yes, that we are all gods and goddesses incarnate, but some never realize their godhood or goddesshood, They will never realize it because they've been told what they're not. They've been told something. You've been given a label. You've been told, oh, this is what you are. This is all you are. And you believed it. And if you believe it, then you're limited. So if you don't believe what you are, if you don't know what you are, then exactly what you believe, that is what you are. Okay? So it's up to you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's up to you. And if you don't know, go find out. And I can't tell you because you have to tell yourself. You got to figure it out. You got to tell yourself what you are, who you are. You got to believe it. You got to feel it. You got to vibrate on that level, and then you got to go become that. Yes. So, I see something. Okay. Oh yeah. Y'all know I don't pay attention to those type of trolls. They just want you to click on them so they can hack your stuff. So I don't bother them. Anyways, so what we got to do is really focus on ourselves and what we are, and knowing that, and start researching and applying universal law to situations in our life. A lot of people will come to me after I've already told them what to do, what not to do. Oh, I just can't control my emotions. I did this, and that, and now these bad things have happened, like a row of bad things. Before they were just okay in a situation that just bothered them here. Now they're in a situation that's bothering them in their pockets, in their heart, and in their mind. Because you made a bad decision based on emotion. Now it's taking your money, it's making your heart hurt, and you're going crazy behind it. Before, you was just going crazy behind it because you couldn't control your emotion. Now you're losing, you're hurting, and you're still going crazy. Okay? Why? Because you couldn't control yourself. If you can't control yourself, what makes you think anybody else wants to be around you, wants to live in the chaos that you're causing and creating? Nobody want to live with that. If you can't control yourself and you think it's cute because, oh, I'm just emotional. No, that's not cute. You're just crazy to them. You're emotional to you, but you're just crazy to them. Okay, let's talk about it. An unstable, unbalanced person is emotional to themselves, but crazy to other people. Let's talk about it. Okay, you're not cute. It's not cute. And eventually it's going to backfire on you. And you're going to be stuck in a bad situation you can't get out of. Or that's going to take you a long time to get out of. So you learn your lesson. And it's going to take you years to get out of the situation you created in 2 seconds. So use that cause and effect when it comes down to emotional issues. Okay? I always tell people this. Half the people in prison are there because they couldn't control their emotion. Half the people that are locked up for the rest of their lives are there because they can't control emotion. Really, that's what they're there for. Because they couldn't control their emotion. Do you want to be like that? That's what I ask people. Do you want to be like that? No, I don't. Da, da, da. And then, one time I had a reading or something. And literally, this girl literally said, if he's cheating on me, I will kill him. I will kill him. Like, I will get a knife and I will kill him. This was years ago. And I was like, okay, so you're going to go to prison? Who's going to take care of your child? You gonna kill him because he was cheating on you instead of, you know, worried about your child, you know, the baby that loves you unconditionally. You gonna kill him because he don't love you. Okay, that's, you're gonna end up in prison. You're not gonna be able to get another person to, you know, at least have a relationship with. Your baby's gonna be raised in the foster system or by your grandma. You know, you want all that? You really want, you know? And then she was like, well, I don't know, you know. Don't get so attached to someone where you want them dead because they don't want you, okay? You should want yourself dead because you should love yourself a little bit more than that, okay? You can't control people, okay? You can suggest things to them, you can manipulate them, but you can't control them. That's up to them. You got to be smarter than them to do all of that stuff. If you're sitting there stupid, making emotional decisions, you can't do nothing with that. You got to use the law of mentalism. In this position, yes. You can't get mad and try to control people and want to kill them. You got to use the law of mentalism here. How do I mentally get this fool to do what I need him to do? How do I trick him? You know, how do I trick her? This is where the other universal law of mentalism comes in. Okay? So, don't waste your time being crazy or over emotional. Waste it reading about mentalism so you can get him to do what you want. That's it, okay? So, you know, there's a solution to every problem. You just have to seek it in the right place. It's not through killing somebody. It's not through, you know, getting upset because they don't want you and, you know, vandalizing their vehicle. It's about getting what you want through universal law. Okay? Anybody will tell you, oh, this story, oh, this lady came back and, you know, she was the ex, but she got him to come back to her. How did she get him to come back? Mentalism. She tricked him. Okay. So, any questions? I'm just reading through this. Okay. What am I sipping on? I am sipping on some cranberry juice and a little alcohol, a little spirits. Yes, Lucy Fear says that there's a root worker named something 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 that talks about silent influence or projecting thoughts into other people's heads. Yes, all that is mentalism. You know, hypnosis is mentalism. Hypnosis. That's my next thing. I'm gonna learn about that. I'll keep telling y'all. But the power of suggestion. Yes, you can get pretty much what you want through the power of suggestion. You learn about that stuff, you don't have to emotionally react, trick people, lie. You can get exactly what you need to get just by learning those things and applying it. Okay? Most people are so stuck and they don't know where to look for the answers. But I'm telling y'all, mentalism, the law of mentalism. Find out how to suggest things to people and have them say yes. There's information out there online, on videos, hours and hours of it, y'all. Books on how to get what you want through mentalism. These are the books that salespeople study. These are the books that people study who are trying to network and get clients for their Fortune 500 companies. These are those top executives that live in those huge mansions, that drive those nice cars that you say are your dream car. This is what they study. Okay? So that's why you're sitting there looking silly. Oh, I want to start my own business. Well, what do you want to do? Then you repeat something somebody else has already done 1,000,000 times and has not become successful at, except maybe 2 people. Okay? So think about it. What do you really want? Um, I want my own business. Do you know what that means? What do you want to do for your own business? You know, what are you good at naturally that somebody else hasn't, already done 1,000,000,000 times? What can you do differently to make your product stand out? And they don't even know. They just think they're going to get lucky. No, you're not. There's too much competition out there. You got to be able to present what you're trying to do in a new way mentally to other people. Okay? Otherwise, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen for you. So, the thing is, ever since I've been practicing universal law, I've come a long way. Okay, y'all seen my first video, okay? Y'all seen a lot. Well, if y'all go back to my original, well, I didn't really record on that channel. Like, I didn't record live. But, yes, I've come a long way, personally. And, I feel like through using universal law and applying it to my life, I have gone from literally, where people want to be. People have gone to college, spent years doing things, years of experience, and they still are not where I am. And it's only taken me a few years to get there. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is it is very possible. Very, very possible. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not a billionaire. I'm not a millionaire. But I went from 0 to way up here in a matter of 3 years. And that's a lot. For doing nothing. But applying universal law, that's a lot. Okay? So, if you can understand what I don't like to give away all my information and what I did because of people, you bragging and this and that. So I'm not gonna do all of that. But let me tell you, it's a lot from what I was 3 years ago to what I am right now. Okay, it's a lot. And I feel like if other people just were able to apply the knowledge, they could get there too. If they weren't afraid, if they didn't have an excuse for everything that someone asked them, if they didn't have an excuse, but instead had a solution, they would be where they want to be. Quick. Okay? Do I drink champagne, and if so, what's a good brand? I really only drink it on special occasions. Like, I'm not really a drinker. Like, this is like from leftover, like, drink that I just wanted a sip of because I thought it tastes good. But I'm not even really drinking it. I'm not a big drinker. I used to be when I was in my 20s, like, because I was always going out. But I'm not a drinker anymore. But I would say a good champagne is, I don't know, an expensive one. What's the best one you can afford, basically? Okay. How can you improve your throat chakra? Tell it like it is. Don't hold back. Say what you need to say. Don't care what people think. Okay. Okay, I agree with you. I grasp what you say. I choose to focus on myself completely this entire year. When I shifted my focus and energy on the interesting, all the persons, things that no longer serve my new intention. Okay, yeah. I don't know. Did you finish? How did you know you had power? I know who I am and I know what I am. That's how you know. Like I say, you got to get alone. You got to do your research. You got to know who you are and what you are. Okay? All living human beings on the planet are something and they're capable of something. You have to figure out, or you got to go learn what that is. You know, I can't tell you because if I told you, then you would ask me 10 more questions because you wouldn't hear me. You have to go and learn it. You know what I'm saying? And feel it and vibrate on that. Okay. What do you say when people ask you what you believe in? Because I never know what to say. I end up explaining my spiritual and saying I believe in me because I'm God. Da, da, da. Okay, I wasn't trying to make fun of you. I was just trying to hurry up and read before it cleared off the screen. What do you believe in? I just say straight up. I believe, you know, I believe there's because what they want to hear, when they ask you that, what they really want to hear is that you believe in some type of God, so they don't feel alone. You know what I'm saying? So I'll just say I believe in the source, or I believe in a source that all of this comes from. That's all I say. Well, what do you mean a source? You know, the same source. You know, the source that created what we're looking at. I believe in that because the evidence is everywhere. You know, you don't have to go into it. Well, what do you practice, or what's your religion? I don't have a religion. Too many limits. I believe what makes sense to me. That's what I tell them. I believe anything that makes sense to me. Do you believe in Jesus? Do you believe in God? I believe that those are religions, and God is another word that people use for source. So I don't believe in the God of the Bible. That's what I tell them. I don't believe in the God of the Bible, but I do believe in a source energy. That's about it. Do I ever get depressed? And if I do, how do I get out of it? I remember who and what I am. That's it. You know, when you are feeling so bad about yourself and your own life, go help someone else. Go help someone else with a worse life. That's how you get out of it. If you sit there and feel sorry for yourself and, oh, woe is me and everything in my life sucks and I just don't feel good about myself and everything is bad, that's because you're vibrating on that level, on that frequency, because you don't know who you are. You don't know what you're capable of. You don't know what you want. So once you figure those things out, you're not going to be depressed ever. You know, you might go through sad moments, or you might go through some grief if someone, you know, passes away, but you're not going to sit there depressed for no damn reason, because you know who and what you are. That's what I'm saying. If you get the knowledge, everything changes. Your whole entire existence and your world changes once you understand what and who you are, how to apply universal law. You know, depression is a choice. Sometimes it's a chemical issue in your brain that you might need medication for. But if that's not what you're trying to do, then remember who you are and what you're capable of, and help someone who actually has a reason to not be happy in life, you know, or has a worse reason not to be happy, you know. Because, for example, I could be depressed if, like, let's just say, oh, all these bad things happened to me today, so I'm depressed. Or somebody didn't call me or text me, oh, so I'm depressed. Or, you know, nobody loves me, so I'm depressed. Or I just don't feel right, I'm depressed. There's people over here starving, walking 10 miles to get water, and I'm sitting over here feeling sorry for myself, and, like, on my phone, on the internet, typing. No, that don't make no sense. Because I don't have to feel like that. That's a choice. You can say, look, I have this, I have that. Go watch some sad videos of some real sad people, you know, with nothing. And then tell me how you feel, you know, as you're in line going to Starbucks, getting a drink. Okay? So, you have no reason to be depressed if you don't live in a third world country and you got food in your refrigerator. Okay? If you feel depressed after that, go reevaluate who you are and what you want in your life. And maybe you won't be depressed, you know. Perhaps you just don't know what you want. Until you figure that out, go help other people figure out what they want. By doing that, you might figure out what you want. Go help somebody. You know, you're just sitting there feeling sorry for yourself. Go help someone who really needs help. You know, don't do that Because people will do that and feel sorry for themselves. They just seek attention. They just want to feel bad. They choose to suffer. You know? So, this time of year in the winter is when a lot of people get depressed because they don't get the right amount of chemicals, you know, and the right amount of vitamins from the sun, and it's dark. Go take some vitamin D. You know what I'm saying? Go exercise. That will release chemicals that will make you happier. How do I get a spirit to stop bothering me at night? Play some Michael Jackson. There you go. Seriously, that works. It does. Just play some music. Change the frequency of your room, okay? Basically. I got a UV light in my kitchen, for my kitchen. Use it when I'm chopping vegetables. Okay, that's great. Okay. Cool. I'm reading some of your stuff that y'all see. Do I sage a lot of things? Okay, so a lot of these questions are like, you know, spells, sigils, things like that. I'm just looking. How to overcome being too lazy to do magic. That's fine. Use mentalism instead. Use the law, universal law, and just apply it to your life. If you're too lazy to do magic, read. You know, that's what I would do. You know, magic is a physical attempt to manifest and to bring about something in the material plane. Okay. A lot of people don't use magic, but just mentalism or universal law. A lot of people do use magic. A lot of people just use alchemy. Same thing. Magic is like alchemy. You know how in alchemy they would do these processes, make these tinctures out of plants and stuff like that. Through making the tinctures, through fiddling with your hands with material symbolic objects, you're learning how to apply universal law. You're learning alchemy, how to turn lead into gold, how to turn a problem into a profit, how to turn a base metal into gold, how to turn a plant, a root, or a weed into a medicine. You are learning the process by touching the material, physical things, and then you bring about the physical manifestation, a cure, a medicine, to a person, okay? It's the same thing when you do magic, okay? So this is what it is. If you're too lazy to do it because you can't do it here, then you have to do it here. Because if you're too lazy, it means you actually need to do it. You need to get your hands in it. You need to figure it out. You need to be active in it, because laziness is a limitation, you know. But laziness is good for one thing: to figure out the fastest, easiest way to do it. Okay? So use your laziness as alchemy. I'm so lazy, I don't know how to do anything, I don't want to do anything. Let me figure out an easier way to get what I need get done. There you go. Bam. There's your alchemy. Turn laziness into profit. Figuring out the fastest, quickest, easiest way with the less, you know, work to get it done. There you go. I think that's what, like, I forgot who it was who said that. It was either Bill Gates or Steve Jobs or somebody. One of them gurus, them tech gurus. They said, when I want something done, I'll find the laziest person and give them the job, because I know they're going to find the quickest, fastest, easiest way to do it. So think of it as a good point that you're lazy, and use your laziness to your benefit. Someone says, it was Bill Gates. Yay, I was kind of right. And it was Bill Gates, but I wasn't 100% sure, so I didn't want to tell y'all wrong. Okay. Someone says, all of my spells have worked. Oh, that's great. Okay. Do you have an audio version of your book? No, I don't. Maybe I'll read it one day and make one. But you don't even need an audio version because it's so short. You don't. You'll read it, you'll be done, and you'll have it here, and you'll be able to reference it easily without having to read through a bunch of words. Because, you know, sometimes when people write books, long drawn out books, people aren't going to read them all, or they're not going to get the true point of the book. So if you just break it down in short, form, people can get it, get in and get out. You know what I'm saying? And they can refer back to it with ease. Okay. Sometimes I find when I read books, a lot of it is just the stupid author talking about themselves, and I don't care about them. So let me get what you need to know in the book, and that's all you need to know, right? I don't want to hear about your story time, stuff like that. No. And that's exactly, what a lot of people put in, like fill it in and make it bigger and stuff like that. Situation, story time, blah, 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 blah. Y'all know all that. Y'all can come watch the videos. Sure, I want to teach knowledge, but I don't know how to start out. Overanalyze everything. Well, underanalyze it then. If you're overdoing something, go to the opposite. Underanalyze it. Simplify it. Stop thinking so much that you're not able to do what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Hold on one second. What's so funny? Sasha? So, yes, you need to do the exact opposite and underanalyze it. Take it for what it is. Don't overanalyze everything. You're probably overanalyzing it if it's new, because you're just, you're so happy that your thinking is no longer limited that you overdo it. But you have to keep in mind your audience and the people that you're teaching. They're not there yet. So if you keep talking, you're going to lose them. You got to know when to draw it back. If they ask for more, give them more. That's basically it. Keep it simple. Keep it so that an elementary school kid can understand it. That's how you do it. If you're talking and an elementary school kid cannot understand what you're saying, you're overdoing it. Dial it back. That's how I think. How do I imagine myself as part of the darkness? I just feel like I'm floating in the darkness in the galaxy and receive my quest. Okay, well, the whole idea of floating is to make you realize you are not a physical body. You are actually part of the darkness and can go in and out of the darkness. If y'all watch Stranger Things, y'all know, like on season 1, when Elle was put in the little water chamber and it was dark and she was floating, and then when she went into her, mind, she was in darkness, and whatever she wanted to know, it came up, it popped up, whatever they told her to look for and to whatever, it would come up. That's the same thing. She has to know she's not in her body. You're not in your body. It's kind of like your consciousness opens up somewhere else. Your mental consciousness opens up somewhere else, and you're able to see and do things elsewhere, and then come back inside of yourself. You are not your body. Okay? That's why you're not your body, because you can see your hand. And you could chop off your hand and still be here. You know what I'm saying? You're not your body. When you die, your soul, your spirit, your energy departs from your body and goes back up there. Okay? So that's just another way for you to kind of A, remote view, B, astral travel, C, manifest, create. That's where stuff's created in darkness. Okay? So that's what you're doing. It's not floating, it's realizing you're not your body. You're welcome. Y'all, that show Stranger Things is really good because it touches a lot on dark energy, other dimensions, things like that. So it's on Netflix. Season 2 is all, I already watched season 1 and 2, waiting on season 3. But that show's really good because it talks about those things, and it probably gives you a little bit of understanding of what we are capable of, And if you think about it, like, if y'all do watch Stranger Things, the little girl named Elle means like, God, goddess, 11 is the gateway. She opened the gate. All those things are very symbolic, and, you can kind of understand on a deeper level if you watch that movie and already know about dark energy and manifesting with it and stuff like that. So, really good show. I called it a movie, but really good show. Okay. So if you can do these things, if you can astral travel, if you can manifest in darkness and get what you want, the benefit to it is that you can do what most people can't, or a lot of people can't, or have no idea what it even is. That's the benefit. Your higher consciousness. You know more. You're more intuitive. You're easily able to do things that the average person could not do. Okay, so that's the benefit of it. You're getting knowledge that most people can't get. What archetypes have been most useful in your life? The darker ones. And because I feel like, y'all know I like Santissima Muerte, and I also work with other ones, but I feel like the ones that are, like, I also like Thoth, because they're real. Like, real as far as you're going to have to deal with it. So, knowledge, universal law, alchemy, the father of magic, Thoth. Need that. Santissima Muerte, holy as death. You're gonna have to everyone has to die. And in order not to waste time, waste energy, waste life, you have to understand that you don't have forever here, and that you should be learning and preparing for the next adventure, the next life, the afterlife, whatever you feel like you need to be learning about in order to thrive after death. Because your mental and your mind doesn't die. It goes on, And if you know how to take it with you, instead of having it, gone, deleted, erased, not knowing anything, going back to, empty, then you can't take it with you. But you can take your knowledge and all that stuff with you if you learn how. Okay? That's why I said this in one of my videos about Hermeticism, that a lot of people just come back and start where they left off in their last life, So they took what they knew with them, and just, you ever saw someone who's just like a genius, who, went straight through school, went to college, finished early, or someone that just picked up an instrument and just started playing it. They never took a lesson. A lot took that memory and that knowledge with them. And if you know how to do it, great. You don't have to start all over from scratch. You don't have to be reawakened. You don't have to find your higher consciousness again. You don't have to do any of that. You're just born with it. Next time, you're like, okay, I know what I'm doing. You never like religion. You never really grasp it. You're always rejecting it. You know that you're different. You can do certain things that most people can't do mentally. So you've taken it with you. Now you're just continuing it. So that's another thing we can prepare for, is the next one. And that's why I work with those. Those have been the most beneficial to me. Okay. Stop messing with your hair. It looks perfect. Thank you. It's just a habit, y'all. Y'all know. Maybe I should put the wig on, because I don't touch the wig as much. Or do I? Okay. So, yes. There are many great YouTube witches and spellcasters and things like that online. There are many great teachers. There are many great, everything. You can find literally anything online these days. So kind of have no excuse to not know the answers to a lot of your questions. The reason you keep asking everybody is because you have not yet asked yourself. So ask yourself those questions and find the answers. And you'll probably find a lot more than what I could tell you or what anyone else could tell you. Or something else might stick out to you a little bit more that you need to know right at that moment in time than what I would tell you. So it's best to do your own research. Do a video on light energy versus dark energy. There's no competition. There's no pros and cons. All is, like, the thing is, you have to understand what dark energy is, or whatever the case. They call it dark energy. Whatever that is, the light came from it. So there is no versus. You know what I mean? It's just a part of it. It's just an effect of it. Okay? So when I say dark energy versus light energy, I don't mean light worker versus, someone who practices evil magic. That's not what I'm talking about. Actually, the word alchemy means, art of the dark lands or art of the black lands, because Kemet means black lands. Okay? So black magic didn't mean evil back in those days. Called the black arts or the dark arts or the black arts did not mean evil back then. It meant alchemy. Now people have switched it around. It means something evil, blah 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 blah. And now y'all are all confused and scared and nervous and can't do what y'all are supposed to be doing. Okay, so that's why you got to get the knowledge so you can actually understand what you're doing. You got to go back and learn. And I can tell you that you can go research it. And you can see that it's true. But if you don't know that, you're walking around thinking, oh, that's evil, oh, that's bad, I'm nervous, I don't know. You are, it's kind of like someone who does know is going to see you as, is she really, or does that person really want this knowledge? Because if you believe a lot of things that you've been told or programmed to believe, and you don't go and learn and do your own research, you're going to be lost. you're going to be distracted from the truth, or the actual source and the actual real meaning of stuff, versus what you've heard and what people have turned it into. You know what I'm saying? So don't get caught up on what you've heard, but go and actually do some research. And a lot of people, I don't like to research, I don't like to do this. Okay, well, sometimes research is just as simple as clicking an audiobook, and listening, putting a headphone in your ear. So don't think of it as like you're going to be in a library with a bunch of books, or Googling and copying and pasting and stuff like that. No, it's easy these days. So, yes, dark versus light, only in Star Wars. It all, that's why they said Luke, that's why Darth Vader says that Luke is his son. Luke means light. Darth means dark. Okay? I'm your father. Okay? You came from me, basically. There you go. Broke it down to you in Star Wars terms. Okay. How can you make demons stop following you? Oh dear. Why are they following you though? Like, why are they following? Why do you think they're following you? Let me ask you that. Anna Marie wants to be shorter than what she is. Can she change herself? Physically, you want to be shorter because you're really tall. It's kind of like you have to figure out, as people get older, they do get shorter. It's called osteoporosis. But if you're like not happy with your physical self, you need to figure out why you were born this way, why you're this tall, why you don't want to be this tall, and figure out the real problem, because you are who you are. Like, you are who you are. A lot of people can change their looks through plastic surgery and stuff like that. Some people can't change their height. Some people can't change, certain things about themselves. They have to learn to accept it and learn to work around it and learn to make it benefit them. Find a way to benefit from your height. You know what I'm saying? You can't change everything. I mean, sure, they might have some type of surgery to cut some of the bone out of your legs and attach it back to each other and fuse it back together, and you got to sit in, braces in a bed for 6 weeks or 6 months or whatever, and then start walking again, because they do make people taller. So I'm pretty sure they can make people shorter. But do you really want to go through all of that? Why can't you just find a reason that your height can benefit you? Okay. Okay, I'm trying to read what. If a demon thinks you're cute, it's not a good time to follow you. What? Somebody see that. That's funny. Okay, Anna, I can't understand what you're asking. You want to be short or tall? I don't know. What are you talking about? Like, you hate being tall? Yeah. Okay, be careful what you ask for, because, you might lose your legs. You could be really short. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, think about this. Think about this logically. Let's use universal law. Not just dark energy, but let's use universal law. In order for you to become short, you're going to have to, A, go through some type of accident, B, have some type of degenerative disease, you know, something like that, okay? Think about this. You're not just going to start shrinking until you get old, okay? So think about this logically. Let's think about it logically. You're not going to shrink. You can use all the dark energy. Maybe people will see you shorter. Maybe you will be surrounded by taller people or something like that. But you're not going to start shrinking until you get older and, you know, your bones shrink. But let's just keep it real, you know. So instead of wishing you were shorter, why not surround yourself with taller people? That's very possible. Look at here. I wish that I was surrounded by people way taller than me. Or I manifest taller people to come into my life so I don't feel so tall. There you go. You want to marry somebody? Jimmy. You can marry somebody short. Shoot. I'll take Bruno Mars and you short. I'll take him. Come on. How do I sell my soul to the devil? How does it sacrificial magic work? Where can I learn how to do this? I know somebody to take your money. Yeah, I'm married, but I still take Bruno Mars. I ain't gonna be married forever. Okay. Okay. Bruno be doing coke a year. Okay, so that's his energy. I don't know. I was just making an analogy. I don't like short guys. If they have enough, going on, I'll take them. It doesn't bother me. Height doesn't bother me. You know, but I do feel like if it bothers you, you should use the dark energy to manifest taller people in your life. You know, that way you don't feel tall. You got a bunch of tall friends. Bam, you feel good. You want to marry somebody short and they don't like you because you're tall? That's the wrong person. Duh. Go find somebody that wants you. You know? Go find someone that finds your height sexy. So, yeah. A lot of people write me these silly things like this. Oh, can I change my butt without getting surgery through spell work? No, but you can eat a bunch. You know, you can get real fat. That'll help it. So, don't write me these stupid things like this, okay? Can I fix my teeth? Yes, get some braces, okay? Magic is not going to automatically straighten your genetically crooked teeth, okay? Go get some braces. Go do some magic to get some money to get some braces, okay? Let's think here, okay? I have to literally delete some of these dumb messages that I'm getting. Stop, y'all. Use your brain, okay? That's what it's for. You're not going to get that result. Do something that can make your height benefit from you. Do something that, you can really afford to save up for some butt surgery if you need a butt. Or something like that, They don't cost that much, you can get one. I have so many young girls writing me, I want a body like this person, like that person. Well, they got plastic surgery, so save up, okay? You can't do a spell to get this body like Kim Kardashian because she had plastic surgery. Save up your money, get you a plastic surgeon, bam, there you go. Do some prosperity work if you want this body, okay? Because this body costs money, right? Oh, well, I want, people will write me, well, I want to manifest, they give me perfect measurements or something like that. And how their eyebrows and eyes want to. They basically just went on Instagram and described somebody, and I'm like, are you serious? Do you think if I knew that spell that I would be looking like this, or I would be looking like that? Okay, so yes, I would suggest prosperity magic if you want to change your looks dramatically, and only plastic surgery can do it, or braces, or whatever, Invisalign. That's what you need to go for. Don't come to me asking me if I can change your teeth. No, I can't. Okay, I'm not a dentist. But I'll do some prosperity work so you can afford a dentist. Yes, wording is very important in manifesting. And so is frequency and what you're feeling. Okay. Okay, going. Ooh. If you're married, how did you make that commitment or have a religious ceremony wedding without using the Bible or other religions? I got married on a boat by a captain. They don't use religion. Okay, I got married on a yacht, baby. They don't use religion. They just say, do you take such and such as your lawful wedded wife, to have and to hold, blah, 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 to death do you part, for rich or for poor, blah, 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 and then they say yes, and then they ask the same question, and they say yes, and they say, I now pronounce you husband and wife, you may kiss the bride. Nothing about, none of that. Bam. So, yeah, I did not get married in a church, did not have a priest, had a captain. They're ordained to marry. So, it's kind of cool. Okay, I'm trying to read some of these questions. Does your husband do magic too? Nope. And that's why I like him, because he don't know anything about none of this. He just there. Okay, so Okay, so, and then I have people asking me how to sell their soul to the devil. I don't know. Like, I don't even believe in the devil, so I can't sell my soul. You can't sell your soul to somebody that I don't even think exists. But I'm sure somebody out there will take your money, and you will believe you sold your soul, and therefore you will start believing that things are improving, and therefore your life might change for the better, but you might be broke. And then you might think that something is coming to get you since you sold your soul. So then you're going to start to attract that. And then it's just all going to crumble. So whatever you decide to do, remember, use universal law first. And then your idea might seem stupid and silly after you read and research that. You know what I'm saying? Is my husband under my spell? I think he is. Most likely. Or it could just be mentalism. But you never know. I told him I had hypnotized him. He looked at me like he was scared. Because we were just watching Get Out. I've been messing with him though. We watched Get Out and I told him I hypnotized him. And he looked at me like, I said, you didn't know I knew hypnosis? I'm just kidding. And then I stopped. Then now he really don't know. And now he worried. I got a teacup and I was like, now I just start doing this with my fingernail like. I said, why do you think you... And he said, you better not. You better not. I was like, I already did. It's too late. You don't know if he hypnotized or not. Now that's mentalism. So you better not make me mad. So anyway, I'm gonna learn it for real now, so I can give you all your money, give you all your paycheck. I believe I heard you talk about eye color hypnosis. Yeah, you know what? Just get some contacts. They real cheap on wish.com. Eye color change, sometimes if you have a certain color of eye, yes, your eye will change according to light, chemicals, things like that. But if you got eyes like me, they stay the same. Look at this. Okay? So, I feel like if you want to change, go change. Go get the stuff that you can use to change yourself. You don't have to stay the same if you don't want to. Okay? It's up to you. There's no shame in it. If you want to look different, go look different. If you want a different style, go get it. You can take out contacts and pop them in anytime. You can straighten your hair or wear it curly or put a wig on or cut it or color it or whatever. It can grow back. It doesn't matter. Whatever makes you feel good, go do it. You don't really need magic to do easy things that you can do in everyday life, So learn how to change the circumstance of your life, so that you can afford to change yourself if you wanted to, Learn how to change the income, the prosperity, the people around you so that you can get what you want. Like you can attract what you want, Like I've been wanting something for a long time, and recently, 2 weeks ago, I said, "Oh, I really want this. This is my goal. I'm getting this year. I don't care," and I got it for free. Okay, so think about stuff. Think about what you want instead of what you don't want. Think about ways to get it. Think realistic ways to get it in this 3D earth. Okay, because think about this. If you use magic spell to straighten your teeth, to get taller, to change your eye color, to grow a booty, don't you think that some scientists will come and kidnap you and do some research and dissect you? Okay, think about it. So use your mind and your brain, and if you want to change, pay for it. Or you can physically change. You can heal yourself as you can heal. You can slow down aging, but you can't change certain things that are already in place and done unless you figure out how to pay for them and get it done. You know what I'm saying? So just keep it realistic. What type of spell can you do for a bigger life? A prosperity spell. A prosperity spell to save up for a Brazilian butt lift or some butt implants. That is the spell. Or you can go do some squats. And you can manifest while you're doing squats that your muscle cells are going to grow twice as much, perhaps. But then you still got to put in the work, So do they kidnap mediums too? No, because a lot of times, alchemists, mediums, they don't know if they're telling the truth or not. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, if we start kidnapping mediums, people are really going to start believing them. If we start doing this, people are going to start believing that stuff, so we can't, Some people have gifts, some people don't. Some people lie about it, some people aren't lying about it. But there's so many people out there you don't know what's true and what's not true. But if they see you doing something and everybody sees you doing something and it's like, oh my God, this person can do A, B, C, and D. Wow, they're going to hone in on that. They're going to be like, we need to talk to her, We need to see what that's all about. We need to get a sample of her DNA or his DNA, whoever, Can you do work on someone having a very hard time forgiving you? Okay, think about this. Universal law. Let's apply universal law to this. Why are they mad at you? And is there anything you can do to cause them to forgive you? Okay, a lot of people just want forgiveness for nothing. Sometimes you got to buy your way into forgiveness, okay? Okay? You got to do a prosperity spell, get some money, and go make a grand gesture. Okay? Sometimes that's what it takes. Because I'm not going to forgive somebody unless they're doing something major for me. Okay? So sometimes I tell people this, and they don't want to do it. They're like, well, they should just forgive me, because no, they shouldn't. You need to be able to get them to forgive you. Sometimes it takes more than a spell and a manifesting. They're going to need some diamonds, okay, a car, a shopping spree. I would forgive. I would forgive. Okay, I'm just saying. Do a grand gesture. Believe me, everybody forgives. You got a grand gesture. There you go. People get mad when I tell them that. Well, how do I get her to forgive me? Buy some diamonds. She's not like that. Yes, she is. Watch. Universal law was made for humans. Yes, that's right. But with alchemy, you can transmute anything. You're only following universal law to get to the next level. Okay. Oh, that's great. Okay. What am I sipping on? Some drink. Very, like, just barely sipping on it. Okay. Have you I hear some people outside. Have you forgiven yourself? People pick up on that and they figure that they don't need to forgive you if you haven't. I'm going to tell y'all, people can buy forgiveness these days. That's not unheard of. And if you do it again, then maybe they won't forgive you the next time, or maybe you have to spend way more money to get out of that. But eventually, you can't buy your way into forgiveness over and over. Maybe the first 2 times, but that's it. So if this is the first time or the second time, you might be able to buy your way out of it. But if it's the 5th and 6th and 8th time and you can't buy your way out of it, then, forgiveness doesn't mean they'll come back to you. Okay? That means they'll just forgive you but move on and do better. Or forgive you and choose a different, path than you and that person was on. So just because they forgive you doesn't mean they're going to take you back. Remember that. If you want them back, you got to give them something to come back to. Or for. Okay. Okay, so let's end it with, what are the steps, or what do you need to become God and Goddess? You need logic, you need balance, you need universal law, you need to be able to understand, what you are and who you are. Okay? And if you don't know, go back to the source of all knowledge that we have on the planet Earth. Start from the beginning. From the first thing that you can find that pops up in recorded, written history. That's where you start, And I've done so many videos. Many of y'all don't even understand it. But I think I did some video on the Sumerians, the ancient Sumerians, and, their origins and things like that. Y'all should check that out. Ancient Egyptians. They hold a lot of the knowledge that you're going to need to figure out who you are and what you are. Okay? So, back in those days, they studied lots of gods, goddesses, and they named themselves after them because they knew that they were like those gods and goddesses, and their entire life was to get to that status, and they were preparing for the afterlife the entire time. Okay? because that knowledge, they can take it with them. They become gods and goddesses after they get to that level, and that's why they were given the little snake, the serpent to come out of their headdress. And they dressed like the gods. They wore gold, because it does help with a lot of the qualities that gods and goddesses have, such as, health benefits, conductivity of your brain, and things like that. It's also the divine metal and alchemy, and it represents becoming god and goddess. So you got to go back there and really understand what you are, who you are, and what you're capable of. And once you figure that out, once you come back to yourself in this modern time, you're going to understand that we're all that. We're all gods and goddesses. And we're all capable of taking the knowledge with us, and when we pass, we're all capable of becoming gold versus lead. We're all capable of making better decisions based on thinking and solving problems based instead of focusing on them. So you got to think. You got to use your mind. It's more brain. It's more thinking. It's more logic. It's more understanding than anything. It's more mentalism. And once you figure that out, everything else will fall in place. And it's so simple, but y'all are looking for something so complex, and that's why a lot of times people never find it. Okay. Trying to read some of these. Okay. And that's why I work with Thoth, or as someone's calling him, Tahuti, which is his name back in Kemet. But I say Thoth because that's how most people know him. But yes, work with him, study him. Hermes, Thoth, Tahuti, they all teach you the same thing. And you'll understand more. You got to get into a place where you're not trying to do something to get a result, but instead learning how to live to get the results you want on a permanent basis. Okay? Your life will unfold like magic after that. How to look less intimidating so people can approach you. Well, what do you look like? Let me see your picture. Hold on. I don't think it's about your look. I think it's about your frequency. A lot of times it's about a smile. Do you smile? Because a smile can take someone who looks fierce to someone who looks like they want to give you a big old hug. Imagine this. Okay, imagine you see me across, the room looking like this. You're not going to approach me. I'm looking. My nostrils are flaring. You're not coming up to me, but if you're coming right up to me, right? Because that's inviting. You're happy. Your frequency is different. They don't think you're gonna, hurt them. They don't think you're going to lie. You look very genuine. So smile. Look goofy. Play dumb. That's what women do all the time. Okay? That's how you do it. Fake it till you make it. Okay. Some people, someone was saying that people think they're stuck up because they're so stressed and full of anxiety. Well, What are you, like, if you're stressed and full of anxiety, then you need to find a way to get rid of that. You know, most of the time anxiety comes from not knowing what's going to happen next. Most of the time stress is caused by stuff that you are letting pile up on you or that you can't handle alone. So you need to figure that out, you know, and ease that. Focus on those problems. If you're full of anxiety and stress, you shouldn't be worried about people thinking you're stuck up. That don't matter. You need to be worried about how to not be full of anxiety and stress. Right? So figure out your next move. Make plans. Make goals. Make a schedule. Your anxiety will lift. Okay? Um, Stress. Don't pile stuff up on yourself. Don't wait till the last minute. Don't be lazy. You know, cut back on stuff that you don't need. Get rid of stuff that you can't use. You know, take your stress away. So yeah, get it together. Um, Focus on yourself. Don't worry about what people think about you. You know, they don't walk in your shoes. They're not paying your bills. So why do you care? If they don't approach you and you want them to approach you, why do you want them to approach you when you're full of anxiety and stress? They're just approaching a mess. Okay? So work on yourself, work on your own problems, and then worry about people approaching you. You know what I'm saying? Somebody says, how many wigs does she? This is my real hair. I'm not wearing a wig today, y'all. See? Okay. It's growing out. And I'm in an awkward stage where it's like half long, half short. It's in the middle. Okay? Mm-hmm. You are so okay. Thoth Kemet says, you are ready. You think you know Thoth, meet the darkness Tahuti. I will help build your own universe. Great. I've already said that in like all my videos in the past. I feel like that's good that you know that, and go teach others, because more need to learn. Because when I tell people that, oh no, you go to heaven. Oh no, you go to hell. Okay, well that's where you going. You can pick wherever you want to go. And if that's where you choose to go, have fun. You know, I'm going to go create my own universe, or I'm going to come back and continue where I left off if I'm not ready to go and create my own universe yet, you know, or, you know, whatever. But that's, you know, what the ultimate goal is, or one of the ultimate goals. So why not? How to work my ancestors? I really don't work with them anymore. I more honor them, because they weren't, you know, they might watch over me and things like that. But I more work with aspects that I admire and that I want to become more like, and that I need more, you know, attributes of. But I always honor the ancestors, you know what I'm saying? And I just use pictures of them, some of the things that they liked, like offerings and things like that. And, you know, that's basically it. I don't, like I said, I'm not limited in certain cultural or styles of anything. I do what makes sense universally and alchemy wise, you know, because that's the best results, because it comes from the source of the knowledge itself, you know what I mean? So we know that in order to honor ancestors or to attract energy of the ancestors, you need offerings. Okay, you remember when the the pharaohs died and they would put stuff in their tombs with them, those were offerings, you know. So they would put food. They would. I thought it was brutal, and they taught us this in the third grade. They said they'd kill their animals and put them in there with them. Sometimes even their wife. I'm like, you know, y'all better get a double or something, because I'm not going. But they would put all their stuff in there with them to go to the afterworld. That's their offerings, you know. So y'all better get a double. Okay, start raising my double up. So yeah, that's funny. Any book recommendations? Yes, go to Amazon and download How to Manifest with Dark Energy. That's a good book. Um, yeah. Why everybody want to know my sign? Like, my sign, I'm a Pisces. But you got to understand, when you start learning alchemy and universal law, you're not bound by your sign anymore. Yeah, you're still going to have a little bit of personality traits, but you're no longer bound by your signs anymore. Own universes meeting. I'm in a raw universe of courage. See, now y'all getting too technical. Like, no one's gonna understand that. Speaking terms where everybody can understand. Akashic records. What are your thoughts? You keep them with you. Like, your records are your records up here. You keep them with you. You know, it's your higher mind. It's your the mind that knows all. You know, it's the mind that you remember and take with you. You know, I feel like people have names for it and things like that, but you know everything already. You just have to remember it because you're part of everything. So you know everything. You just have to remember it or find a way to see it in your perspective. But to me, that's all it is. People try to explain it in different ways, but to me, you're a part of everything. You know, so you see all, you know all, but from your perspective, you can't access all until you know who you are and what you can do. And you still can't access it all because you're on a certain vibration. You can't reach a certain frequency on the frequency that you're at. So it's very, 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 it's very deep, but yes, I believe that the way that they explain it as the Akashic records is really good, but you're just a perspective of source. And you know all the records, everything. You just can't access in certain dimensions all of that knowledge. But you can see it when you're not in your human form or in your human body. Sure, you are the best. Ooh, thank you. I don't think I'm the best, but thank you. Your wisdom is as if you've been here before. I have. Have always wondered how and when did you begin your path in your journey? Since I was like, I'm trying to tell y'all, I was born doing all this stuff, like knowing it, experiencing it. You know, my earliest memories are astral travel, seeing different types of beings, being able to do things, knowing things, you know, stuff like that. I think I came and continued whatever I was doing before, but honestly, ever since I can remember, there was nothing. Like, I always rejected major religion. I always rejected it. I hated it. You know, I was always attracted to, you know, magical things, alchemy, science, those type of things. Not like, cutesy stuff, but like the real deal. I was a mortician. I learned about mortality, the human body. I feel like I was somewhat like in one of my past lives. I know for sure that I was probably doing something with bodies because I flew through mortuary school and made perfect grades with no problem without even studying. Other classmates took 3 and 4 times to pass the state exam. I took it on the first time, hung over, and passed. Okay, and those exams are hard. It's full of science. So how did I get that? I don't know, but it was natural, and it was very natural to me. So I knew I did something, and it was scientific, it was metaphysical, and it had a lot to do with alchemy, magic, or something. Because everything that I did in those areas, I was really good at. So I already knew. And I feel like a lot of people know their talents and their strengths came from their past lives. Because there was no scientific people in my family. There was no more, none of that in my family. So it's not from that. It's from beyond. Yeah. Someone says, toast, bro, you're not making any sense anymore. Let's see when you get too conscious and too caught up in it, you don't make sense anymore. It's like those thoughts are only for you. You don't say them out loud. You have to figure out a way to say it so everyone can understand what you're saying. Okay? Because I used to do that a long time ago. I used to talk like that in parables. And people just get mad at that. They're like, what the heck? You sound crazy. But you're smoking, So you can't do that to everybody. Yes, it's cute. Yes, it's showing something about this, and you read and you memorized this. But if you can't apply it, it's no use of talking in parables around here, Not on this channel. Okay, now some people just need medication too, y'all. I get a lot of crazy chicks, like people with crazy chicks. That's what I call them. And hey, I'm not making fun of you. If you get a crazy check, that's good. Because if I sure would get one if I could. What do you got to say on the Illuminati? I don't have to say anything about them. Like, they don't bother me. Like, when you know certain things, it doesn't bother you because it's not going to affect you unless you don't know certain things. If you know that people are programming you, if you know that people are doing certain things, you can avoid it and it doesn't bother you. If you're not in the know and you get affected by it and, things like that, that's why people need to learn. That's why people teach. That's why people don't fall for false flags or fake news a lot of times, because people are more aware now. Your conscious level has heightened, and a lot of times you see exactly what's going on. Now, Illuminati is not what you think it is. You know what I'm saying? The people that you're referring to are probably just the families with all the money that can buy what they want. The true Illuminati is people that, bring information to enlighten people. The Illuminati that y'all are talking about are just people with a bunch of money who are instilling fear and buying a bunch of crap. Okay? That's not the real Illuminati. So, They just took the ancient system and they applied it to their agenda. That's basically it. The real Illuminati, or people that will want to enlighten people, did it for knowledge. Okay? You can take knowledge and apply it to good or bad. Okay? It's not all good. So, that's what they chose to do with it. So, and what are you going to do with it? If you can't apply it, how are you supposed to, do anything against what they're doing? Or how are you supposed to escape what they're doing, If their agenda is different from your agenda, then you need to be able to make sure what you're doing, you're able to do it, A lot of people will get affected by certain things and certain decisions because, follow the money. You're going to get paid, people are going to get paid if this happens, so this happens. They set it up to happen, right? Because it's all about money. If you're going to destroy our industry, we're going to destroy yours first. Okay, you're not going to come out with that, no, because that's going to destroy our economy. So you can't come out with this product. So we're going to use this machine to create some havoc over there. Some earthquakes and stuff, some tsunamis. So that's how they play. They're playing chess. Okay, it's all about money. It's not the true Illuminati. This is just what they call themselves because they're using this knowledge, or what other people call them, because they're using this ancient knowledge. It's not the true Illuminati. It's just the people that got the knowledge that using it for their agenda, basically. Okay. The Illuminati is just a cult really that started around there. That's not even the Illuminati. The reason people think it's Illuminati is because of the Egyptian symbols and the stars that are going like this and da. That's not Illuminati. That's alchemy. They're learning alchemy. Okay. And when you know alchemy, you can kind of escape things, do things, figure out things, use mentalism, leave messages. It's not what you think it is. A lot of y'all are confused because y'all just hear stuff and go with it. Okay? If you're not learning that stuff in Hollywood, you're doomed. You're not going to know how to handle yourself. You got to learn alchemy. You got to learn all this stuff in Hollywood to survive, because that's what they do. All the movies that you see have alchemy in it, have hidden messages in it. And if you don't know what you're performing, the music that you're singing, the lyrics that you're singing, the stuff going on and behind you in the video, if you don't know what none of that means, you're sitting up there confused. It's not going to come through in the frequency of the song. So you got to learn about it, okay? When I sing a song and I know the true meaning behind it, it sounds different than when someone who's singing the words and the lyrics who have no idea what they mean. Think about it, So you got to understand, if they're singing songs that have certain meanings in them, and they don't know what it means, it's not going to be the same. So that's why they learn. Some people already know because they grew up with fathers or mothers in, certain societies and fraternal orders and things like that. They already knew this growing up. So some of them don't. That's why they have to learn. How is alchemy different from magic? Well, magic has its roots in alchemy. Okay? Alchemy was the first form of any type of magic. That's where it all comes from. It was separated, as time went by, but that's where it all comes from. So there is not really a difference. It's just branches. So, can you use alchemy to stop being an energy vampire? If you learn about dark energy, you'll never need to take people's energy again unless you want to. Okay? Because dark energy is infinite and you can draw from that. You don't need to draw from people unless you want to. See, there's a difference. Some people don't know they have a choice. But you do got a choice. Some people draw from people on purpose. Some people don't know where else to draw from. But I feel like if you're a natural energy vampire, study dark energy, manifesting with dark energy, healing with dark energy, and things like that. You'll understand. I mean, I have a whole playlist of those videos on my channel. If y'all go to my channel page and click on the playlist or library, however it looks on your screen, and click on the dark energy videos, it's all in there. And okay, so yeah, so anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. It's getting late, I gotta go. And I'll see y'all on the next one. I don't know when that's gonna be, probably next week. If y'all have a good topic, wait and put it in the comments, not on the live thread, but like go to the video and like where I can read it later on and type it in there, and I'll be able to see them, because I can't see all the live messages or comments after the live feed is gone, so gotta go back and comment later. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you so much, and I'll see y'all later.